Alright, I'm going to show you how to indicate on a 4-jaw chuck. So we have a magnetic base set up with a dial on it. It has the probe going down. And if you watch here closely, I'm going to move the cross slide in and out to make sure that I'm in top dead center. If you watch, you see how it goes down just below 10. So I'm going to find the highest spot, right about 13, 14 right there, and then it goes back down, so I know 14 will be the high spot. Let's measure right there, because if you look, it's dead center on the top, and that's where you want to be. So what you do is you take this and you're going to rotate the chuck to make sure that it's not going to be out of round and everything's going to be smooth. So you have the top and bottom chuck, then you have the front and back, and you have to run those together because it's axial. Alright, so we're going to see where we're at here. On the top one, it looks like we're at 14. We're going to rotate it past the first one to the second one. Then we have to get those numbers to match, and actually 14 looks pretty dead on. So now we know that those two are set. So now we're going to run the other two. Let's rotate those to the top. We're sitting at about 23. Let's rotate and see what the other number is. We're about 4, so we have to bring those numbers together. So by doing that, we loosen up the lower number. We put the chuck key in and loosen it. We're going to rotate this to the other side, and this one we will tighten, and it drags it up closer. Rotate through, and there we go. We're actually pretty close right there. So we're sitting about 13 on the top and 15 on the bottom. So that tells me I need to go one less here to get it to 14, and I get this one to 14 or 13. Sorry, 13. Maybe I was right at 14. Let's rotate that tighter. There we go. Now we're sitting about 14, and this one's about 13. Now let's check the other side. This one's at 14, and this side's at 13. So I need to get a little bit closer on this side. Let's tighten this up a hair more. And then what you want to do is you want to be able to rotate the whole thing and that dial not move, or you want to be within 1/1000th of an inch. So we're at 13, 14, 14, 14. Okay, so we just need to loosen up. Actually, that's pretty dead on. Maybe not. I don't like that. It's too much wobble. So I'm going to get that 13 closer to 14. Barely crack it there. And what I'll do is I'll tighten it up on this side barely. That should put me right between 13 and 14. Ooh, that's too much on one side. So we gotta keep adjusting. So right here, we'll tighten this up. What's the highest number? You want to tighten up the high number, which is right in here. We're going to tighten that up a hair. And then we're going to loosen up lower numbers. So let's loosen this one. And then go to the opposite side to tighten it barely. So you got to play with it for a while until you get it dialed in to where this dial does not move, or very lightly moves in between 1/1000th of an inch. So we got high right there. Let's tighten that up. Now we should be pretty close now. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a lot better than what it was. Let me go loosen that just ever so slightly. And I'll tighten up on this side. There we go. Alright, it's pretty close, but I still need to dial in a little more. And what you could also do is you can move the apron or the whole carriage down and measure in a new spot, because you might have some pitting or something on the part that may throw the dial off a little bit. So I'll check in a few spots. Alright, we're in 2/1000ths. I need to be within 1/1000ths. So let me loosen up the low number, which is this one. I have it labeled as number 2. We'll loosen up number 2 and tighten up number 4. I might have went a little too much. Yeah, it looks like I loosened up too much. So let's try this again. Hold on. Alright. Looks like we're going between 5 numbers here. I'm going to start on the low number and loosen up, because once you're so tight, you can only tighten it so much. So loosen up the low number. Loosen up. Rotate to the opposite side. Tighten up. Alright, let's check those again. Okay, those are not too bad. Well, a little bit, tighten up more right there. There we go. Alright, let me check the other numbers. 14. That's about 14. I'm going to tighten up number 1, barely. That's sitting at 14. There we go, that's at 14. Let's check the other side. 14. That's 13. So I need to tighten up this number 14 on number 2, just barely. There, should be pretty dead on now. Okay, it's close, very close. But this part is just going to be a trailer pin, so it don't have to be super, super accurate. It doesn't need to be very, very precise. To me, that's good enough, so I'm going to call it good right there. And then what I'm going to go back on the chuck a little bit and just tighten up everything just to make sure it's all snug. I'm putting about equal pressure on each of these chuck screws just to make sure I don't overdo it. And when you're done, you're going to just take your dial off right here because you're finished with it. And there you go. Now you got a good, true, hard piece right here. We turn it on. Okay, something's not working here. I gotta figure out the machine. Something's not turning on for it. But that's how you indicate.